One of the biggest questions we often receive from K through 2 teachers about grading is how to know if a student should receive a 4-3-2-1. How would you know how one student should do in quarter 1 on standards that are set to be mastered at the end of the year? That's a great question, and many wonderful folks in our curriculum and instruction department have worked on creating rubrics to help teachers with grading. These rubrics are located in a shared drive that will be linked during this presentation. These rubrics are not required for teachers to use when grading. However, they are the best resource that our district has come up with to help K through 2 teachers come up with a systematic and equitable way of grading so that students' mastery of standards is based on the time period in which they're graded, not just having to do something in the first quarter that they don't actually have to complete until the end of the fourth quarter. In this folder, you will see folders for the 4 main academic areas: ELA, Math, Science, and Social Studies. As a note, the ELA folder includes rubrics that are based on the old ELA standards. These rubrics are in the process of being updated to match the new ELA standards on the report cards. Let's go ahead and look at a math rubric for how you could give a grade. So in my Power Teacher Pro gradebook, as a math teacher, I would like to know how to give a student a 4-3-2-1 based on this rubric. So if I go here to this folder, I'm going to click on Math. And once I'm in Math, I can choose the grade level that is associated. I've clicked on First Grade, and this rubric comes up. These rubrics are set up by quarter. On the left, with an arrow pointing down, you will see the standard area. This standard area aligns to the standard area seen on the report card, that all standards within that area are shown on this grading rubric. On the right is the rating scores, starting with a 1, 2, 3, and 4. When using this rubric, you as a teacher should always start by looking at rating scale score 3 column. So let's look at the top one for number sense and base 10. For quarter 1 in first grade, the standards are on the left, and these are the same standards on all progress reports and report cards. In order to determine a grade for a student, I'm first going to look at column 3. Column 3 shows the requirements that students must meet in all 4 areas to receive a meeting, or what is considered proficient for that grade level for that quarter. So in this example, even though the standard says count forward by 1s to 120, in quarter 1, a first grader must count forward by 1s to 100, starting at any number. In addition, they also must meet the requirements in number 2, 3, and 4 to receive a 3 on a report card. So in determining what a student should receive in your classroom, go to this column 3 and think, does my student meet all of these requirements first and foremost? If the answer is yes, they will either be a 3 or above. If the answer is no, they will either be a 2 or a 1. If the student has met all of these requirements, then also look over to the right for column 4, exceeding. If a student can meet all of the level 3 requirements and exceed those in at least one area, they will receive a 4. For example, in one of my students in math, they can do all of these things, but they can also count to 126. They would be receiving a 4 in quarter 1. For a different student in my class, I looked at column 3 and said that that student cannot meet all 4 of these requirements. At that point, I then went back to level 2. If the student can meet the level 3 requirements in 2 or 3 areas, there's a level 2. And if they can meet the level 3 requirements in one area or cannot meet them in any area, they are a level 1. Please note that these requirements are different by standard by grade level. So make sure to always look at the correct column for the standard you are giving a grade to. Once you have changed quarters, let's say it's now quarter 3, you can use the bookmarks at the top of this page to scroll down and now use column 3 to determine grades for students, whether they meet these, are a 3 or 4, or they do not meet these, they are a 2 or a 1. As a reminder, 4, 3, 2, 1 should always be used. The NA option should only be used if the teacher did not instruct that course or that set of standards. There are additional rubrics for science and social studies for all 3 grade levels found in this folder. These rubrics, once again, are optional, but are the best resource you can have when helping to determine what grade to give a student in academic courses and grades K through 2.